You buy a ticket. $2. Maybe 5. You scratch it in the car. Right there. Before you even start the engine. Your heart beats a little faster. Just for a second. Nothing happens. You lose. You already knew you would. But you buy another one next week. Why? Here's the strange part. Your brain isn't broken when it does this. It's working exactly as designed. And once you see how, you'll never look at that little ticket the same way again. Because lotteries aren't really selling you money. They're selling you a feeling. A feeling built out of the oldest wiring in your skull. And billion-dollar companies know precisely which buttons to press. Stick with me. This gets stranger the deeper you go. Let's start with a number. Your odds of winning a major jackpot are worse than 1 in 100 million. That's not unlikely. That's almost zero. You are more likely to be struck by lightning. Twice. And yet, every single day, millions of people hand over cash for a shot at it. So the question isn't, why do people play? The question is, what part of the brain doesn't understand? Almost zero. The answer is your brain was never built to understand big numbers. For most of human history, you never needed to judge odds of 1 in 100 million. You needed to judge things like, is that rustling bush a tiger or just wind? Small numbers, close threats, immediate stakes, big abstract probabilities. Your brain just doesn't have good hardware for that. So when a number gets big enough, your mind quietly rounds it up. From almost impossible to, hey, it could happen. This is called the availability heuristic. Simple idea. Complicated name. Your brain judges how likely something is by how easily you can picture it. And winners. You see them constantly. The news covers the big winner. The billboard shows a smiling family. Your coworker's cousin's neighbor actually won once. You never see the 100 million losers. Nobody makes headlines out of losing. So your mental picture gets warped. Winning feels close, common, almost expected. Losing feels invisible, like it barely happens at all. That's not an accident. That's the whole business model. Lottery marketing doesn't need to lie to you. It just needs to show you the exception over and over until the exception feels like the rule. Now here's where it gets even stranger. Scratch tickets are designed around something called near-miss psychology. A near miss is when you almost win. 2 matching numbers out of 3. 1 symbol away from the jackpot. Technically, that's a loss. Complete loss. $0. But your brain doesn't process it that way. Brain scans show something wild. A near miss lights up the same reward pathways as an actual win. Your dopamine system, the chemical that drives motivation and craving, fires almost like you succeeded. So a loss starts to feel like progress. Like you're getting closer. Game designers know this. It's why scratch tickets are engineered to produce near misses far more often than random chance would ever create. It's not luck making you feel close. It's design. Let's talk about dopamine for a second because people misunderstand it. Dopamine isn't the pleasure chemical. That's the myth. Dopamine is the wanting chemical. It fires before the reward, not after. It's the anticipation. The scratch before the reveal. The seconds after the numbers are drawn, before you check. That's actually the peak. Not the win itself. The moment right before you know. This is why lotteries sell hope, not money. The hope is the product. The ticket is just the receipt. And your brain will happily pay again and again for that tiny hit of anticipation, even when the outcome almost never delivers. It's the same mechanism behind slot machines, notifications on your phone, even the little unknown of a mystery box unboxing video. Uncertainty is addictive. Certainty is boring. Your brain is wired to chase the unknown. Now, the contrarian twist, the part that changes everything. You might think, okay, so it's an unfair tax on hope. Sad, but harmless enough. Here's the uncomfortable truth. It's not evenly harmless. It's targeted. Studies on lottery spending find something consistent across many countries. People with lower incomes spend a larger share of their money on lottery tickets than people with higher incomes. Not because they understand the odds less, because desperation changes the math in your head. If your current life already feels stuck, A small, cheap shot at a life-changing outcome feels rational, even if the odds are terrible. When you have very little to lose and everything to gain, even a 1 in 100 million chance can start to look like the only door available. That's not irrational. That's a brain responding sensibly to an unfair situation. The lottery didn't create that desperation, but it profits from it. And this is where the marketing gets deliberate. Lottery advertising doesn't usually target wealthy neighborhoods with billboards. Look at where the ads actually appear. Convenience stores, corner shops, neighborhoods where money is already tight. The message is always the same shape. This could be the day everything changes. Not a lie, technically. Just an emotional trigger, aimed precisely where it lands hardest. Because if you already feel like the system isn't built for you, a lottery ticket doesn't feel like gambling. It feels like the one door that's actually open. That's the exploit. Not tricking your math, bypassing it completely, and speaking straight to hope instead. Let's bring in one more piece, the illusion of control. Ever pick your own numbers instead of a random, quick pick? Ever use birthdays or lucky numbers, or a pattern that feels right? Here's the thing. The odds are identical either way. Picking your own numbers changes nothing mathematically. But it feels different. It feels like skill, like judgment, like you're participating, not just gambling. Psychologists have shown this in dozens of experiments. When people feel some control over an outcome, even a fake, meaningless kind of control, they treat the whole event as less risky and more winnable. The lottery lets you choose. That choosing is an illusion wrapped around pure chance, and it works because your brain hates admitting an outcome is 100% outside its hands. So here's the full picture now, stacked together. Your brain rounds tiny odds up to possible. It sees winners more than losers, so winning feels common. Near misses trick your reward system into feeling like progress. Dopamine hooks you on anticipation, not outcome. And desperation, wherever it exists, makes a bad bet look like the only bet. None of that is a personal flaw. It's not that some people are smarter about this than others. It's that this entire system was built, tested, and refined by people who understand behavioral psychology extremely well and who profit directly from you not seeing it clearly. Now, the modern mirror. Because this isn't just about lottery tickets. Think about the last time you refreshed an app hoping for a notification. Think about a loot box in a video game, a mystery gotcha pull, a stock you're holding because it might spike. Same wiring, same dopamine loop, same near-miss feeling when a video almost goes viral or a message almost arrives. The lottery ticket is just the oldest, most obvious version of a pattern that's now built into half the apps on your phone. Once you see the mechanism, you start noticing it everywhere. Small chance, big imagined reward, constant reminder of the rare winner. Repeat. So what do you actually do with this? Not never play. This isn't a lecture about willpower. It's simpler than that. Just see it clearly. When you buy a ticket, know exactly what you're buying. You're not buying a real chance at millions. You're buying $2 of hope for $2. If that price feels fair to you, for the entertainment of imagining a different life for a moment, that's your call to make. Consciously. The danger isn't the ticket. The danger is not knowing why you keep buying it. Awareness is the one thing the near-miss effect can't hack. So back to that scratch ticket in the car. Heart beating a little faster. Just for a second. That feeling wasn't random. It wasn't even really about the money. It was your ancient brain, the same one that once scanned bushes for tigers, now scanning a piece of printed cardboard for hope. Lotteries didn't invent that wiring. They just found it and built a business on top of it. Now you know the trick behind the ticket. So next time your heart skips, right before you scratch, ask yourself one simple question. Is this hope worth $2? You get to decide. Not your dopamine. You.